Graniola. This is the Graniola channel, and I'd like to tell you a folk tale. In order for a tale to be retold, it had to be very easy to remember, so naturally, most of the stories included things that were familiar to the teller, and often local animals were protagonists. The tragic hero of this story is a gray heron, and the story's called Gray Exit. On the edge of a beautiful river, there were 5 tall gray birds. Each one appeared to be standing on one leg. It was possible to mistake them for sculptors because they are so elegant and still. If you stayed watching for a while, you would notice that one or another of them would suddenly peck at the surface of the water with his long, thin beak. If you're familiar with the word somber, then you would know it described this family of birds perfectly. On the afternoon we're talking about here, which was probably a long, long time ago, the family, as usual, was wading in the water and, in a very calm and sophisticated way, dining. A snake was sunning himself on the bank of the river near the birds. Everything was quite peaceful until a frog leaped onto a rock which was between the snake and the family of birds. The splash startled the snake, who demanded, "Just where do you think you're going?" Although hearing and seeing the snake had frightened the young frog, he was a player, and he tried to act bravely, answering, "Going? No, well, actually, I'm just returning. I'm coming back from an extremely important meeting in the capital city." "Oh, really? And what did you find out in this extremely important meeting of yours?" "There's been a proclamation saying that if anyone attacks a neighbor, that person will be killed by the king's guards. You know, the ones, the tall, slender guards that wear gray uniforms." Pleased with himself, the cheeky frog turned with a smile toward the gray heron, just as that magnificent bird swung gracefully around, picked up the snake, and swallowed him. I'm certain you've had the experience before that for a long time nothing happens, and then all of a sudden everything happens at once. Well, that was the case in this story. Just at that moment, an eagle carrying a huge branch flew overhead. The frog ducked back when he saw him, but the heron, who was facing down to the ground as he swallowed the last bit of the snake, was unaware of the heavy piece of wood that crashed down on top of his head. Not only did he not see it coming and it killed him, but it also banged his neck into the S shape that you see today on all of his relatives. The children of that previously splendid feathered animal were absolutely furious. They couldn't believe that after their father had intervened with the snake, the frog did not help him when he had the opportunity to do so. They swore that if he or any other frog ever came near them again, they would eat them. And from that day forward, every gray heron has an S-shaped neck and eats frogs. This is a tale that is told in Uganda. If you live in the United States, it probably seems like a very remote and faraway place, and given that and the circumstances of the present pandemic, you probably won't be going there anytime soon to see the gray herons. Amazingly enough, this year for the first time, one of them has been seen in the eastern United States.